Morning campers. Well, that's me on the road again. I'd get up a little earlier. Not too early. I got going about 6:45. Because, well, basically I have to do that. I'm not sure how long I got that ride for, but, well, basically I have to do that, plus some more to get to water. I mean, I managed to cook something. I think I said that last night. I had enough water, to do a little cooking, and I've got enough. I think I've got enough to get me to the next cow pond. And then I'll stop there, camel up, have some breakfast, and just think I'll do that. But anyway, it's a nice morning. It's overcast. It's meant to be overcast all day, so that should be good for me because I've got a great big hill to go up, and that should help with the water. Yeah, funny. So anyway, yeah, that's the scoop. Didn't have a bad sleep last night. Tried to go to bed early and get as much rest as I could. And coyotes were howling again last night, and the cows kind of wakes you up. But yeah, wasn't too bad apart from that. So yeah, we'll see what today brings. Okay, talk to you later. Here's my view this morning. A lot of cows out here. Loads of cows. They were following me yesterday just before I got picked up. Probably thought I had treats. Jerry was the one that told me about that. And I had no idea. But anyway, yeah, that's what we're looking at. And if I was to guess, I'm going over that way where the trees are. You probably can't see them, but yeah, 17 kilometres to the road, and then up the hill, and then it's not too bad after that, actually, all the way. So anyway, just thought give you a shot. My campers, well, when you know it, I forgot to show you guys those cow ponds. Mind you, it's basically a pond with cow tracks all around it, along with everything else that comes out of a cow. It's not great, that's for sure. Anyway, been thinking as I'm going along here. I really enjoy this hike, but I've realised the things I don't enjoy is when I'm starving myself for water. You know what? I have to stop doing that. It's not like this is meant to be for fun. Although some people wouldn't say, but I find this fun. But what I don't like is when I have these long stretches and it's hot and I'm starving myself for water. Like, that's no fun. It's okay if you have to do it. It's okay if you make a mistake in judgment. But I guess I didn't remember from last time. But I was thinking about it last night and I thought, yeah, you know what? I do remember that now. I remember when I got to the boundary and basically I had to just eat bars for supper because I had no water left. Yeah, anyway, I think I have to stop doing that. It's too hard on me. I'm not getting any younger. So, but anyway, here we are. We're away from all that now. Back to some more reliable water sources. I just had breakfast, actually. Had breakfast at the ranger station. Nice water, local water, you know, just sat by there. They still got the telephone box, by the way. Why not? Why not keep it? You got the line. You never know. Somebody may need it. I don't think that's a bad idea, you know. But anyway, yeah. So, anyway, there's certainly one thing about it. You should appreciate water, I'll tell you that. You should appreciate water. I saw this little trail here. And sorry, I got distracted. There's a little trail here that sort of doesn't follow the road. And I see some markers. Actually, funny thing was I met this guy, Chester. He works for Saskatchewan Parks. He stopped on the Gap Road. Make sure I was okay if I needed anything like water or anything. Anyway, we were chatting and he was telling me about how the scouts come out here, usually in July, kind of like the Adventure Scouts, and they do like a 2-day kind of training thing, map reading, and you know, out surviving on your own sort of thing. Yeah, I'm not sure about this. Here's this little trail here. I don't know if it's the right one or not, but yeah, maybe it is. I just wanted to see what this was like. Anyway, yeah, he was telling me about that. And actually, I was a cub leader. Cameron, my son, was in cubs. And, you know, we enjoyed it. I was in scouts as a teenager. Yeah, this is kind of rough. This isn't this much fun. I think I'll go and hit the road. But anyway, yeah. And I enjoyed scouts. I really enjoyed it. And I enjoyed being a cub leader for Cameron, but unfortunately he was playing hockey, and of course hockey is really popular here. And the trouble is it's so demanding, the hockey, once you're on a team and stuff like that. It's there's just no time for anything else. So unfortunately we had to give up the Cubs, but it's too bad anyway. Yeah, so anyway, Chester was saying he was a scout leader. It was for years and years. And he said there isn't a scout hall now in Maple Creek. That's where he's from. And it's funny, in Medicine Hat there used to be, I'm not even sure how many, at least 3 that I know of. And I don't know if there's a scout hall in Medicine Hat anymore. It's a real shame. It was a really good program, I thought. The Boy Scouts gave boys, and of course there was the Girl Guides, which was the same part of that program. It gave boys and girls like some life skills that they could use. It gave them confidence. It gave them, you know, independence. It taught them some really good skills. But unfortunately, and I'm going to say this, it got infiltrated by people who didn't want to help, I guess, give boys and girls skills, life skills, and teach them stuff that they can use in later life. Teach them about the outdoors. No, to exploit them. And that is the sad part. And you know, the majority of people like myself and like Chester that volunteered and was just doing it for their kids and other kids, with no other motive than that. But unfortunately a few bad apples ruined it. I think the Scout Association, at least in Canada, had some huge lawsuits against them for abuse of kids, which is really, really sad. Anyway, so where was I? Scouts, yeah, talking about that. And yeah, it's a shame that organisation has just really good organisation. But yeah, so that was that. Now I just stopped for, it's pretty hot already. Well, it's midday. Pretty hot, so I stopped for a little bit of shade, and then I still had cell service before I get into the trees. Then I won't get any. So I had cell service, so I called Lisa, so that was nice to talk to her, and of course she knows I'm okay and everything's, you know, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, it's not too bad from here to the Battle Creek campground again. And then I'll take the easy way home. I'll go on the other side of Reeser Lake, but that's tomorrow, not today. Let's get today over. Let's see how today goes. Okay, talk to you later. Isn't that a beautiful spot to put a cabin? Of course you can't do that now, but somebody sure picked a nice spot. Look at that. Yeah. Beautiful. There's a bit of a closer look. Somebody stayed there for quite some time. It's a pretty big cabin, as cabins go. Yeah. It's got a plaque there, but I don't think I'm going to go down and read it. I'll just show you guys something. So, this is a little natural spring or something. Anyway, I can see where all the cows have been drinking out of it. And you know what? They're thirsty too, right? But, so this side here isn't too bad, all things considered. And it's flowing, which is good. Okay, I'm going to take you to the other side. And actually, a bunch of cows, I know they're up there drinking the water because they saw me and they're like, what the heck? Didn't expect to see somebody here. Here, I'll show you. Anyway, so this is what the other side looks like. So there's cow crap in there. You know, I guess it don't bother them. They just crap in the water, and the only thing I'm hoping is that maybe it gets filtered as it goes underneath the road. I have no idea. But you know, I looked at this spot too and I'm like, no. And then even further up there, there's, you know, they've crapped right in the water. So I thought, I don't want to take that, so that's why I took it from the other side. So that's why you should always filter your water, or filter it, or tab it, whatever, but you gotta treat your water. Especially if you know there's cattle around, but even if there's not cattle, deer, bears, you know, you're gonna get sick. I mean, touch wood, so far so good for me, but yeah, this side was not as good. Yeah, that's what I can see sitting right in front of me. Well, you don't think they stand in that and then stand in the water? Of course they do. Even if they ain't pooping in it. You know? Same over here. Yeah, it's really important. Don't take it for granted that a stream is, you know, if you were, whatever, 200-300, you know, meters down here, don't take it for granted that this is clean water. It's just not a good idea. Anyway, that's my tech tip for the day. Isn't that a nice spot? Hey, have a nice camp there. Unfortunately, you can't. Well, good news. We're back in Alberta. Well, I gotta say, really enjoyed my time in Saskatchewan. Met some really, really nice people. It was so nice. Now, 3.5 k's to Battle Creek. I might carry on for a bit. I actually might carry on. Maybe to Spruce Coulee. We'll see what happens. See how I feel when I get there. Or maybe to Reeser. You know? Anyway. See what happens. Now, isn't that a nice place? They probably got cattle and they're doing lumber. They got a really nice spot there, and then they got some outbuildings over there. Can't really see them, but yeah, they're lucky they were able to do that when they could. You couldn't do that now. They wouldn't let you. It's a pretty nice shot of Battle Creek. Looks like there's a lot of algae in the river. It doesn't look low, but it's, yeah. Beautiful, just beautiful. How about this for a view? Isn't that gorgeous? Look at that. Beautiful. Just going up this little trail here. I got to Reeser Lake and I was going to take water out of the lake, but it's got some kind of algae thing going on. So I went to the campsite. I think they get their water from there's a little river down there, in there. They're probably getting their water from there as opposed to the lake. It says do not drink, but it's clear. It just means it's not treated. So obviously you have to treat it if you're gonna drink it. But anyway, yeah. Onward and upward. Climbed up there from the Reeser Lake campground, and now we're up on top here, walking through the prairie grass. This trail here too is part of the TCT, which stands for Trans-Canada Trail. I think it's now called the Great Trail. I don't know why they have to keep changing the names, but there you go. This is what I was telling you guys about. And then I can show you. There's Reeser Lake in the background, and then you can sort of see the hills, and then if you go over here, prairie. Isn't that something? Morning campers. Well, I decided I better finish off this last video. So that was quite a day I had. Would have been yesterday. So anyway, what happened was I made really good time to Battle Creek. I got to Battle Creek around 4 and I thought, you know what? I'm too early to stop hiking. Because what am I going to do for the part of the day and that night? And I felt good. One thing I realized, how much better I felt once I was properly Like basically once I was properly hydrated and got enough water in me, what a difference it was. You know, I've always known that, but I really, really felt it this time. Like it was astounding how much of a difference it made when I wasn't thirsty. So anyway, so then I decided, oh, you know what, I'll try going to Risa, see what it's like there. So I got to Risa. It didn't take me that long, maybe an hour, I think, or less than an hour. So I'm at Risa, like kind of like just before 5 or something like that. And I thought, well, I know I can be in Spruce Coulee in a couple hours. And when I was there on Tuesday, there was one tent there. And I thought, well, it's Thursday, it's kind of before the weekend, I'll go to Spruce Coulee. So then what I ended up doing was I went to Spruce Coulee. Sure enough, I got there just before 7, about 7:15, something like that. Might have been a little earlier. I picked up some water from the lake. And then I get up to the campsite. Well, it was pretty much full. There was 1 or 2 sites left, but they were, you know, they just weren't good. No flat ground to sleep on. You know, just not good. Anyway, I thought, well, and loads of people, you know, the place was almost full, and I thought, and you know, it's not like backpackers like me, it's car campers. Not that I have anything against car campers, but you know, I would have been okay if I was tucked away in the back somewhere, but I couldn't get a spot. So I thought, well, 2 hours, I can be in the rodeo grounds. And then I might as well go home, because this is going to be no fun camping here. And remember, I'm in a provincial park, so I have to camp in designated spots. Unless it's an emergency. And it wasn't an emergency, so I crack on. So anyway, I get to the rodeo grounds just before 9, just before it's getting, well, actually it was dusk. And I thought, I was like, well, drive home. Well, I got home, had something to eat, all that, and then had a shower and basically went to bed. Anyway, got up the next day, and I walked 30 miles that day, which, I mean, I knew I walked quite a bit, but I didn't realize I walked that far. So that was quite the day. But you know, these things happen. You know, I hadn't booked any sites because I like to keep myself open, flexible. But unfortunately, sometimes it doesn't work in my favor, especially in these provincial park grounds. So anyway, that was my day, and that was the end of my trip. But you know what? I enjoyed the trip. I did enjoy it. I learned quite a bit from that trip. I learned that I don't want to torture myself. I can do it, but it's not really any fun. And you know what? It's I'm out there to get some exercise, get away from everything, camp out in my tent, and just have some fun, right? And when you're either carrying loads of water or you're rationing water because of lack of water and all those things, you know, it's really and as you get older and unfortunately I'm getting older, you're less resilient. I think that's the one thing. You do become less resilient. You can still do it, and it's uncomfortable, but you know, when it was 25, 26 degrees when I was out hiking, and when you're exposed, you know, like you've seen those shots where it's really exposed, it's pretty warm. And when you have a lack of water, it's just, you know, it's just really not that much fun. So anyway, that was my trip, and I enjoyed it. Glad I went. I'm hoping that maybe I might be able to go back out. I don't think I'll end up going back to that trailhead. You never know. Never say never. That's to head to Jasper. I just really don't want to have to drive 5 hours and then get to there into the back country, and then, you know, for a I think it would be about 3 days, maybe 4 to Jasper, something like that. You know, for a 3 or 4 day trip. I just think I just don't know if it's worth it. If I was going all the way to Cackle Lake, I would do it. And maybe that's an option for next year. Who knows? But anyway, just wanted to finish off this video. Thanks everybody for watching along these videos. I hope you enjoyed them. And you know, like I said, got to see what I've been doing. And yeah, so thanks for watching. Hope you're having a good day, and it's good night from me for just now. Good night.